Black Compass Media back live with another one. Shout out to everybody that's out there right now. Everybody's gonna hear this. Tone Bro checking in on behalf of the whole team, man. Black Compass Media, Pose, Cola, you know what I mean? Polo, Driz, you know what I mean? Whole society. Salute to y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe. Black Compass Media as well is on Twitter and Spotify and so on and so forth. Black Compass BCM on Twitter and then Spotify, iTunes, everything. You can get all the audio of everything that we got going on. Big interviews, big face offs, snake eye stumbles, big stuff going on, man. Shout out to Remy Ma. Great interview. I did not shout out Double XL, Complex, and Billboard, all covering the interview. Like all of them covered the interview. So damn, that was great. You know what I mean? Big salute to everybody for paying attention to what was going on. And if you guys get a chance, it's only right Doja Cat comes up here now. So shout out to Doja Cat. But without further ado, we got battle rap business to attend to. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Zay and Boza Bambino. We just had them on and everything like that. Next brother I wanted to get on is somebody that I have a lot of respect for because if you've been a fan of this platform, we've had him on a couple of times to this point. Every time he comes back, there's different, it's growth. There's new ideas. You know what I'm saying? He has a certain foresight and things like that. He's at an interesting place in his career, and I wanna really break this down. You know what I'm saying? You've seen him throughout. You know what I'm saying? He's a part of that class, that COVID class, that pandemic class. And don't let anybody fool you. I came up with that term. Me and Chilla Jones. Yep. Pandemic. He's a part of that class that was putting on a Kid Chaos, Easy the Block Captain, Fonzie. Like, they are cooking right now, right? Just as a collective. But you've seen him in the ring. You've seen him doing his thing, big stages, small stages, things like that. Most recently, you've seen him at the Ultimate Madness 5 tournament as well. Shout out to Smack, shout out to P, everybody that's a part of that as well. Just had a great battle, in my opinion, against Fonz. And we're gonna break down a whole lot of things, man. So without further ado, Jersey's own Real Sick. What's going on, brother? Yeah,
Appreciate the intro, Doug.
man. I'm here for the intros, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
Sick,
What's up, Doug? How you?
hey man, I'm doing well. I'm blessed. I'm in good spirits. It's getting warmer outside. The year's flying by and things like that. A whole lot of things to achieve. But before we get started, man, how is Real Sick doing, man? Let the fans know what time it is, bro. What's up?
I'm good. Super appreciative of all the fans. I've been getting a lot of messages, a lot of comments, all of that. And my gratitude has always been for the fans. And every single time I got a battle, that shit just keeps getting crazier and crazier. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Shout out to the fans. I'm good. I'm chilling. Just thinking about my next move. You know what I mean?
right, right, right. We all had the opportunity to see what you did, in the tournament and everything. First of all, that the tournament was random. It felt random on the at the outset, right? How
The
we
the
got
tournament was supposed to be so much more like of a big deal, I guess you could say.
yeah,
The original list that I got was completely different than the list that they announced. You know what I mean? Like when I signed a contract for the tournament, it was a different list of people that would be participants. You know
right.
what I mean? But when they announced everybody, I was just like, all right, fuck it. You know what I mean? We're battle rappers, right? Let's just battle. So
True.
fuck it. But yeah, it was kind of, it did seem kind of on the fly.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
very different than what you guys had going in the UM1. Which again, if y'all don't do what y'all did at UM1, I don't know if we get to UM5. I'm gonna be honest. I like to be real. Going into this tournament, what was different about your mentality as you stepped into this, as opposed to the first tournament? Like, what was different for you?
Um, I'm more comfortable.
Mm,
I'm more experienced. I've I've like since the first tournament to now, man, like I've done shit I didn't even know I'd do in this span. You know what I
oh,
mean? Like
yeah.
I didn't know I'd get on Gnome in a year. I didn't know I'd be on the Drake card. I didn't know I'd be battling some of my favorites. Like that line, my favorite, I should say one of my favorite lines that I said
Yeah.
last Saturday, which didn't, it was for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just tweeted it and I said the first time I saw my favorite rappers rap a verse live, they were rapping rounds. They had to prepare verse mine. Like that
Mm-hmm.
was when I thought like Pat Stave's one of my favorites. The first time I seen him live was when he was battling me. You know what I mean? Like there's like, yo, that should have be Magic, one of my favorites. The first time I seen him live, he was rapping about me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like I wanted to kind of get that out there to make people like I'm a fan of battle rap too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like
Right.
that's only a testament to, I guess, the path or the road that I've been going. You know what I mean? Like the like that's how like it's crazy because when people meet people that they look up to,
Mm-hmm.
like you kind of introducing yourself as a fan
Right.
versus the first time I met Crooked Eye, he said, "Yo, Sick, what up?" The first time I met Chris Brown, he said, "Yo, Sick, what up?" Like they knew me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like and that kind of it's surreal, dog. It's
Right.
crazy. You know what I mean? So, um, all that shit happened since the first tournament. You know, like so
The
that's what.
comfort, the acclaim, the multi-platinum artists who happen to know my name. Though these all of these things, right? And you have more experience on the court and stuff. So when you get into UM5 now, you understand the lay of the land. You don't know who your opponent is, but then you say, all right, well, let's go, let's put the best foot forward. Then you get Stumbles as the opponent, right? And I wanna pinpoint that battle because I did have a lot of takeaways, Sick, and I want to know what you think about some of these things that and this word narratives we will unpack as well, but
We need to.
the because it's narratives, right? But all right, the battle happens. Now he has areas where he slips up, but line for line, there are people who really enjoyed what he had to say. He had lines for you. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to figure out though, was it a case that you were also battling expectations, right? Like you were in a situation, I think this may have been the first situation where you were so expected to win that the barometer wasn't whether you won or lost the battle.
Second,
This is
first one was me and B Dot versus Arsenal and Kid Chaos.
right, right.
That was
Well,
the first
which
one. That did those polls pause were like 91-9. Like they were clear. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And that's the first time. The reason I was able to do what I did with Stumbles,
Uh-huh.
and I'll break down my strategy going into it. And to people that were surprised, I want y'all to know I was in control the whole time.
Mm,
All 3 rounds during that battle, I was in control because I knew what to do this time. The
mm,
first time, me and B Dot battle Arsenal and Kid Chaos,
mm,
and that landslide of expectations, it showed me, yo, me and B Dot are doing some fire shit up here,
mm.
and people thought Arsenal and Kid Chaos weren't gonna be as crazy as they are. We
Right.
did because we were preparing for them, but
Yeah.
the people didn't know that. So now when they're going up there and they going crazy,
Mm.
I'm not shocked, but the people are. So
Right.
it's kind of, I think material for material, that battle was a fire battle. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But in the moment, people were just so shocked, and I don't want to take away from them because they went crazy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
like that made me realize, like, all right, we weren't just battling the battle, we were battling expectations as well.
And, and
You know what I
and
mean?
those are all relative, right? And this is not to it's not to bash anybody. If you surpass somebody's expectation, that in
Mhm.
itself is a victory, right? But then it
Yeah,
becomes but how fair is it if the barometer
it's
for one?
not fair if the expectations ain't the same. So like now going into the Stumbles battle,
Mhm,
right? As
mhm,
I'm preparing for him, I'm becoming a fan of Stumbles because
mhm.
I had only seen his shit on the last right?
Right.
But now I'm
Right.
watching his shit. I'm like, yo, he got a line here and there that they're gonna like. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
he got a style that people like because he's nice, he's fire. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But people aren't expecting this because I'm predicted 98% to win.
Yeah.
So now my expectation is
Yeah.
98%. It shouldn't be close. This should be like I'm not like I'm in control of what he says. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, and
Yeah.
then and
Yeah.
and his expectation is, yo, you can't even rhyme a word. Like you can't
Yeah.
even, you know what I mean? So like the expectations are different. So it was such a shock factor thing. People don't realize, and I don't want to sound like I'm bashing him because like
Yeah. No, it's not a
shout
bad.
out to him. I'm
It's not a
happy
bad.
he did what he did with that opportunity
Me too.
because now he's right back with Snake Eyes. You know what I mean? So he took advantage of that
I mean,
opportunity.
honestly, that battle doesn't, and I'll say this, I'm in interview mode, but let me just put the manager hat on. I'm glad he did that. I'm glad people liked it because now that battle makes more sense. Or
Yeah.
because that before it felt kind of like they was trying to force that matchup. It
Hmm.
still kind of feel like that in my heart, but I'm cool with what he was able to do on the court. People like
Yeah.
that. Okay,
Yeah.
make that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're not
Yeah.
gonna hate. I got stuff written down from him that I thought was dope. But
Yeah.
on this question of expectations, though, I think
Yeah.
this talk is
So
very interesting.
so where I was going was like, so every time he had a bar that was dope,
Mhm.
people discounted the 20 bars of dry spots in between the good bars.
Mm.
Whereas with me, I'm doing what you expected. I'm
Right.
I'm I'm rapping at a high level. I'm punching. I'm controlling the stage. Um, I like I knew I had to do certain things that I didn't normally do, like have more haymakers. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I'm talking about room stopping haymakers. It's crazy to me that people are not even realizing this shit until they watched it back. Like I saw it in the comments on the app, but
Right.
in the moment, I'm like, yo, this people, it's the stumble show. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And I know this while I'm preparing because I'm like, yo, he's nice. And
Hmm.
they're not expecting, yo, having a 2% expectation is the best place to be. I'm
Yeah, that's
telling you,
great.
it's the best place to be because when you're nice, people are just gonna be rooting for you. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So like, so what I'm saying is this: like, I'm stopping the room. I'm throwing mid-round rebuttals in there. I'm angling. I'm doing all the intangibles on the stage. I'm talking shit in between. I'm moving around. I'm performing. I'm doing all of that. And I know that's what I gotta do. Cause if I stand in one place and rap
Yeah.
and my presence isn't felt, I gotta make my presence felt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just that I had the feeling also of I gotta remind people because I'm not in interviews all the time. I don't
Yeah.
talk shit all the time. I show
Yeah.
up, I do work, and I come back and get better and better and better every single time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? My bag
Yeah.
goes up, my opponent goes up, the opportunities go up. So I feel like I just had to remind people real quick.
Right.
So every time he lands a line to slide the paper like the gun range or the morning person or the every time he does something like that, I'm giving him props. That shit is fire, but it's not taking control away from me. I'm not up
Right.
there fighting. I know what I got. I know what to do in this situation.
Mm.
And that was the first time I got to use these vet tricks that I learned.
Ah, there it is. Because that's what I was sensing too. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
he's doing other things up here. And
Mhm.
the irony is that you started doing these other things and those went unnoticed, right? In my opinion. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like because even with the battles that you did take, because I'll admit it, I feel like you took a tough row of opponents. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not easy. These are guys who don't normally lose many battles,
Yeah.
and it's like that's a tough gauntlet to run through. So I'm like, okay, we understand. All right, so maybe he is human, but he's still good though. And I think like now it's other things that you were able to pick up, right? So that's what you were trying to
It's
display.
it's also crazy to me that like people are saying, oh, he had a debatable with Av, Pat Stay, and DNA.
Yep.
Like, who wouldn't? Like, name me
Yeah,
a battle rapper that's
yeah,
gonna
talk it.
battle them back to back and not have debatables with them. Like whenever you and that's the crazy shit. 3 debatables in a row, or if you include the JC shit. So
Yeah,
4. Av, one of the best punches of all time. Pat
talk.
Stay, the guy that's gonna diffuse your style and make you look stupid. I had a crazy debatable battle with him.
Uh-huh.
DNA, he
Uh-huh.
gets new guys out of here. He
Out of
rapped
here.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
I rapped 15, and it was still debatable. And then
Mm.
JC, legend, vet. These are my four debatables that people are talking about, right?
Yeah.
And and the talk for some reason was like I was on a losing streak or something. And it's
Uh,
like, yo,
Accurately, it was sick be losing. That was the hashtag.
right,
Sick be losing. Yeah.
right. But it it never felt like I was losing because contract coming back, a couple grand added on to what I got.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? My opponent and the opportunity is getting bigger. My followers are going up. So I'm
Uh-huh.
like, that was my first introduction of narratives. You know what I mean? And what happens if you don't address them? You know what I mean? So like, I just wanted. It was just I didn't know whether to take it as a compliment or just because at first I was just getting heated at it. I was like, yo, name me a rapper that's gonna battle these guys in a row and not have debatables with them. When you're battling on the best battle rap league in the world and
Talk the
you're
talk.
showing up at 100 and so is your opponent, it's gonna be debatable. It's gonna come down to preference almost every time, unless
Right.
one of the people are slacking. You're battling the best rappers in the world. The rappers in the industry look at us and think we're the best rappers in the fucking world. And
Talk the
that's who I'm rapping up against. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
I'm it seemed like instead of the testament of, yo, he's only been here a year on this league, and Pat Stay is fighting in front of him, Av is fighting in front of him,
Mm-hmm.
DNA is fighting in front of. Instead of that
Mm-hmm.
testament, it was, I don't know, he might have lost his last three. It's like, yeah, but like, who am I battling? Like, look at that. That's why I had to say the Fonz in the face off. Like, yo, the level of competition isn't the same. So like, I just finally got, you know, I took a break after JC
Yeah.
because I was battling very back to back since I got in the league. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I probably got 12, 13 battles in URL, and it's been 2 years or something like that. Like,
Players.
so I got to take a break, and that's when I kind of like was like, all right, it's a compliment because they're holding me up, even if they don't know it's a compliment. You're holding me up to a standard of, yo, if he stands in front of a legend or a vet or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like they're not looking at me as they're looking at me as an equal. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like
Right.
that's what
Right.
it's like. It's kind of like, not to bring it to working out, you know what I mean? But like
No, bring it to work it
if
out.
you
Let's do
if
that.
you if somebody like accuses you of steroids, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first time you hear it, you're gonna get offended. Like, yo, I'm putting in work every single day. Like, I'm not eating certain foods. I'm in the gym for 2 hours a day. But then you realize it's kind of a compliment that they're
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, you put in so much work, it looks like you're on steroids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so that's kind of like what I had to do, and I had to kind of like step away from battling for a minute
Right.
because my schedule has been crazy. That's why I felt like in one of these battles, I just had to list my fucking resume for people because I felt like there was a certain section of battle rap fans that weren't thinking about that. They
Right.
weren't thinking about after I battled Kid Chaos and Jada Nightwing, it kind of stayed at a certain level. Chilla Jones, B Magic, main event versus Mike
Ah.
P,
Ah.
Danny Myers, Arsenal, Av,
Ah.
Pat Stay, DNA, JC.
Come
You
on.
can make
Come on.
somebody's top five or somebody's Mount Rushmore is in my resume. You know what I mean? So like
Mm.
I just I just had to, I feel like, remind some people again to where I'm at a level, or at least I realize I'm at a level to where like the guys that I'm battling made me realize this. Wins and losses don't matter as much as what you're putting yourself in a position to do next. You know
Interesting.
what I mean? So
Interesting.
I never looked at it like that, obviously, because you're competitive, and I'm not writing to have a debatable. I'm
Right.
writing to win every single round.
Right.
But the thing that keeps you the longevity thing when it comes to that aspect is showing that you could perform under these circumstances. Live
Mm.
stream, this many people watch it, this kind of opponent, you know what I mean? Unlimited time limits or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
all of those things, can you still perform? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's
I
what it
feel,
comes down
yeah. So that was my my little soliloquy, you know what I mean,
to.
about all this shit. But
Hey, it was much needed, Sick, because I made the joke before. You're a very respectful guy. I get the impression that you probably couldn't yell much in your house growing up. You're just not that type of dude. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I had parents like that too. But I was getting mad for you, bro. And let's talk about that N word. You know what a narrative is? It's an unsubstantiated claim that can't be proven or disproven, something that people will just assign to you for no other reason but just to ruffle your feathers. As fans, we do that, right? Or depending on who you're going against. We may attach it to your name. You notice how, for some people, their close matches, oh, they edged it. With other people, their close matches, 4 game losing streak. And that's
right,
exactly what happened to you. That's
yep,
exactly what happened to you, in my opinion.
yeah,
You became your own consistency started to become sort of a thing, right? Like it's like he's so consistent. We used to 25 a game, 25, 8 rebounds, seven assists. If he give us 24 and 4, well, is that a good game or not? You know what I'm saying? So I
yeah.
just, yeah,
Like if you really think about this, right? All right. So my bad for running through it again. Let me just.
not
So
do it.
Jada Nightwing, Kid Chaos, Chilla, Magic, Mike, Danny, Ars, Av, Pat, DNA, Fonz, and Stumbles. So 12
Right.
times 3 is what, 36, and then a one rounder with JC. 37 rounds in the
Yeah.
last 2 years. Never slacked on one of them.
Talk
You know
that
what I
shit.
mean? That's that consistency thing that I think people. It's crazy that in battle rap people notice consistency a little late. People didn't realize how consistent Tay Rock was until he had been being consistent for a while. Tay Rock is probably
Hmm.
the most consistent battle rapper, you know what I mean, that was here in the beginning to now. Like
That's a fact.
people are now putting stats up. Like look how many gnomes he was on. Look how
Yeah.
many Summer Mad. You know what I mean? Like that's that work that he put in, and he kind of just kept his head down and kept working, and then people started noticing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
um One of the reasons though that I do stay calm and respectful and shit like that is because I'm in control. Then I actually very oppositely had a loud household growing up. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
okay, okay.
It kind of it kind of led me to have that kind of attitude with like life until like my early 20s when I learned how to, you know what I mean, not just get mad at everything, not, you know, always amongst other things that happened in my
Yeah,
life. I had a shorter fuse and I wasn't controlled, you know what I mean? So then
yeah.
as I learned to control myself, that's the reason why I carry myself the way I do, because I know when you get to a certain level of like responding to shit, you kind of lose control a bit. And that's like what I learned. I learned that even with the comments that I was talking about earlier. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It made me it like battle rappers, like at a certain point you get numb to compliments,
You get
and
numb
you
to compliments. Break that down.
and
Numb
you
to
don't you
compliments.
don't want to get there, right? But it happens when you're just in the mind of just battling. So
Yeah.
you'll scroll past 20 or 30 fire emojis or that was crazy and that to the one guy that said eh, and then you're gonna be like, what are you talking about? I went
Talk
crazy.
that.
You can't do that. You can't do that because
Yeah.
the truth is the people that are vocal are already a minority. The
Mm.
people that actually voiced it. How many times are you going to somebody's post and leaving a comment, or going to a YouTube video and leaving a comment? Most of the people that watch your shit will watch it and talk about it amongst their friends. They're not having an online presence all the time. So the
Mm.
people doing shit online is already a minority, and then you're going in that minority and you're finding negative shit about yourself, and you know what I mean? Like you can't be doing that, and you have to, like, it doesn't mean you don't appreciate the compliments and or have gratitude towards it. It's just like the negative ones stick out so much, and I had to learn that just means I don't get them that often. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's
Right.
that's what that means. But it's tough, man. It's tough being having a bunch of people talking about you and not being able to hear every single thing that's said about you. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
it's kind of
Real.
weird. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. And I hope that people hearing that and yo, thank you for breaking that down because part of the thing I try to do is help people like myself who aren't MCs understand the mindset of an MC. You know what I'm saying? Like in all the different things that you got to be cognizant of, right? And further, when I talk to you guys, I'm like, I definitely couldn't do this. Every interview I have, I'm like, nope, can't do it. Like all the expectations. But you and Fonz, this is yet another battle between guys in your class. That's one of those. One of those.
I think
Like,
it's always gonna be like that, with the exception of like I guess Castro and Fonz, or like
uh-huh. Uh-huh.
there was probably some in UM1 that didn't live up to it.
Yeah, very
But
few.
I think for the most part, and I'm not trying to dog Castro. Like I'm pretty sure he's mad as hell about that. You know what I mean? Because it was,
Sure.
but yo, it's that competitive nature. We
Right.
think when it's all said and done, we're gonna be. I think we're already one of the best classes.
Oh,
But I
sick.
but I think
Oh.
through accolades, through time, through resumes, yo, for different reasons, I already think we're the best class.
Okay, let's run it
And this
down.
is why.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How many? Because people always compare the classes. Like they say, the best class is John, Magic. Who else was in that class? Um,
Yep. That
QP.
was
Who else?
John Magic, QP, Young Cannon, Bill Collector. Yeah, they was all together.
Yeah. In our class, first of all, everybody's from a different region.
Mm,
Everybody raps differently. None of us sound alike, dog. None of us in an age where, and it came at an age where everybody was trying to be Nitty, Twerk, or Av.
oh yeah, talk your talk. I like this
So,
talk. Yeah,
and
yeah.
now you got Jada Nightwing, left field. Me,
Right.
I try to, I guess you could call me like a like a Swiss Army knife, right?
Yeah.
Chaos with the pen, Easy with the talk, Fonz with the punches, like Ace with the rap ability. You could throw like there's so many like different styles. Castro with the entertainment. It's a
Right.
different style for every single person. And then
Mm,
on top of that, yeah, we're repping a different region. We rap differently, and we're showing out every time we
right.
get these opportunities. You know what I mean?
And
So
y'all getting vet wins too. Like that was what separated y'all. And
yeah,
to be
yeah,
honest, it made it kind of weird for the class after y'all because y'all had gotten so further along so quickly.
yeah,
It's like I know you in the class coming in, but I can't even match you up against real sick right now. You see what you're doing? You know
right,
what I'm saying? So I just talked to Bose, who is very talented, but it's like they did so much. We can't even play the rookie sophomore game.
yeah,
The-
yeah. That's
know,
crazy. I never thought about that. Yeah.
right? Like four of the rookies is on the All Star team. So how we gonna play the rookie sophomore game, right?
You know what else it is? It's like our class. People want to see us against the people that have been here for a while.
Right.
So it is kind of crazy for the class that followed us. I never thought about that. It is
Yeah.
kind of crazy for them because yeah, we set a crazy standard,
Right.
but also we're all on a mission. So we can't even go back and battle Nex or Bose or anybody that's in that class, a real name Brandon or something like that. Not like it's beneath us, but we're kind of looking this way. Like we're kind of, oh, you want me to battle Nitty? You want me to battle Sean? You want me to battle? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I'm taking care of those versus like we're building legacies still. You know what I mean? We're on our way to building legacies.
I
So
feel
yeah,
it.
that is crazy.
I mean, okay, so look, you had the barn burner matchup with Fonz. There are a lot of people that got you winning that battle, right?
The
Fan vote comes out
the fans
53.
had me winning. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what the app says. I got a notification. It dropped like 10 minutes ago or something.
Well, I
But
mean, but in the take me to like in the middle of that battle, right?
yeah,
And I'm a seasoned battle rap fan. I always get to a point in the middle of a battle where I'm like, I don't know what y'all about to do because this right here, these last two, especially these last two rounds, I don't know what we're gonna do. Unless one of these guys has a colossal meltdown, which is highly unlikely.
yeah,
I don't know how y'all gonna call this. As an MC, when you in a battle and you know I this could go either way. What do you say to yourself? Is the idea just don't mess it up? Are you trying to elevate in that moment? You know what I'm saying? Because I know you feel when the distance is the margin is so thin that
yeah, yeah.
anything could turn to, you know what I mean? Or is it just all muscle memory? Let me just keep working. You know what I'm saying?
it's weird for a couple reasons, right? So I'm used to those because of my the people that I battle. You know what I mean? But feeling that in a tournament setting was a little different. You know what I mean? Because now the win matters. It's on the spot. People aren't going back and judging it like my battles with Pat or DNA or Av or Arsenal, or you know what I mean. Like people aren't going back and judge people. Those battles are like, just for resume and legacy and shit like that. It's not
Right.
immediate. Yo, who won?
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm used to a battle coming down to preference, right?
Right.
But in the Fonz battle, it's kind of like a display of both of our skill sets at 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that what we created, you know what I mean, with that is gonna be is art in itself. But when it comes to like thinking about the judgment and like where the judges are gonna go, you don't know. It's kind of like you. It's like being in a show, being a part of a show, but not knowing the ending. As weird
Mm.
as that sounds, you know what I mean? Like it's weird because I know I all I'm thinking about in that moment is hitting all the marks that I set. All right,
Right.
I got to deliver this line like this. I got to turn up over here. I got to look at you know what I mean? All the little notes that I have to myself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's all you could do in that circumstance. Because to be honest, it's literally like I think the votes were both in the 3,000s, and I was at maybe 3,700 or something, and he was at
Mm-hmm.
3,300. Like it's a close battle.
Close back.
Everybody that's talking about that battle says it needs Jay Black said it needed a rewatch. That you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Who else? Cal, John. All of them are saying, yo, if I watched it back, I might have had a different
Yeah.
opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then people are telling Fonz he won, and then people are telling me I won. You know what I mean? Like notable names in the culture, like
Yeah.
fans, like yo,
Mm-hmm.
like it was crazy. This the first time, like I kind of had this feeling when I battled Jay too, but it was completely like it was like exponentially greater this time,
Mm-hmm.
where I get off the stage and I'm like, damn, the judges gave it to. I'm always in these, bro. I'm always in these. Like I battled Jay, it was 2-2, and then it went to the fans. Like
Yeah.
what? And then that same shit over here. It was by one vote, right?
uh,
But I'm like, as my competitor side is like, damn, I lost. And then you go to the phone or you talk to the people that was there, and you don't feel like you lost. You know what
yeah.
I mean? I
Yeah.
didn't feel to this day. I don't feel like I lost. And even when it comes to judging the battle, I think I won the battle as well. But
Right.
I mean, like the way I was getting received, it didn't feel like that. It feel like people just appreciated the battle that we gave them. You know what I mean?
Definitely,
So
definitely, and I left there saying, like with a lot of good battles that we see in the tournament, God, in another multiverse, you give them one more minute, because I ain't gonna lie, when you started to tell them like, who would you rap, who you dying to see, like the guy that rapped 12 minutes to the back of a yard for probably a G, like
yeah,
when you started hitting them with that,
yeah,
when you started break, I'm like, oh nah, real sick, this is different. Now this ain't just and not to downplay it. This ain't just the punches with the cadences and the tretch in the red man pockets and shit. No, he's talking to him. He's
hmm
talking to him. And if you've been around, you know what he's talking about. I was like, oh, sick. This is fire. But man, this would have been a lot better in a 3 minute, you know what I'm saying, setting or something like that. But even when you put that in there, it's like, all right, were you expecting fans to receive that like a certain way? You feel like it was a risk going into the narratives and everything about him? You know what I'm saying? When you started breaking them down, it's a deviation from, I think, from what a lot of people enjoy from you. You know what I'm saying? So,
it's
what?
it's so that's what I do just in every battle. I'm gonna talk to my opponent.
Yeah,
Number one, number two, yeah, it's a risk, but like every battle, I take a risk with
mm,
those kind of angles. You know what I mean? Either they're gonna respond to him like they did when I battled Danny at Arsenal,
right.
or it might get to like other battles where they might have not hit. But The reason I do that is because I like rapping about something. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And I know the difference between me and Fonz that I was trying to highlight was I could do everything.
mm,
He's really, really good at this, at punching. He's real good at that. He might cement himself as one of the best to ever do it in that category. But
mm,
I'm trying to cement myself as one of the best overall to ever do this. So while that's why that
mm.
even like, yeah, I could get into flow patterns and shit, but that's not all I do, and that's never the only thing that I did. That's just the shit that gets highlighted because maybe it's so different from the setup and perform the punch. You
A
know what I
lot of
mean?
these guys can't rap sick. I'm gonna say it
It,
even more simpler than you, but go,
I
yeah.
I said it in the third. Another bar that means so much to me. Stop calling these dudes rappers because they punch. They practice once a month and only write bars when they got a battle coming up. Like, stop calling these dudes rappers. They don't rap. You know what I mean? Like, the the cloth
Talk.
that I learned from,
Yeah.
there was no separation between rapper and battle rapper and
Talk that talk,
freestyle
bro.
and performer and song maker. You know what I mean? There was no difference. You just had to do everything. You know what I mean? So that's the same attitude I have with battling. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you with a punch, and then I'm gonna hit you with a joke, and then I'm gonna hit you with an angle, and then I'm gonna hit you with a crazy flow. Then I'm gonna hit. You know what I mean? Like, you got to
Right.
be able to do everything. And the reason I was highlighting that in that battle was kind of trying to talk to him like, yeah, you grabbed the win, but answer this. Why my path lacked you since? You battle Shuni, Tink the Demon, drugs, mostly app events. I battle Arsenal, Av, and then Pat stay after it. DNA, Chilla Jones be met. That's only half of it. That's what I'm trying to get across to him. I'm trying to
Uh,
say, like, like me doing this is like that's the separation I was trying to say in a battle. Like, me
mm,
doing this, the thing that you make fun of me for, is what made put me where I am today, type shit.
right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
of course, yeah, when you're talking to somebody, it's a risk. But I felt a little comfortable taking that risk because, one, I'm not saying anything false. You know what I mean? It's all truth. And then two, we had rappers as judges. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I'm
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? I know as a fan how I feel about rappers
yeah,
overall judging battles, but
yeah.
how do you feel about that being judged by your peers in such a way?
I don't know. It wasn't a negative experience. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't. It's dope in the ways that people know the difficulty of what you're doing.
Right.
Before my battle with Fonz, Cal put me to the side and he was like, "Yo, you know why what you do is so ill?" He's like, "Sometimes these dudes be punching and I don't know what they're saying, right?
Mm,
Like, they might have an anime bar, I don't know what they're talking about, or they might. But even if you say something, and even if I didn't know what you were talking about, the way you got me there is wrapped so fucking well. You know what I mean?" And I was having a conversation with him about that, like, cause he does that shit too. You know what I mean? Where he's just rapping. So it's dope to see like Cal, John, and Quest know what's happening when I'm rhyming the way I'm rhyming. That's
yeah.
why when I said, "So you looking for the punch? You think it's too long? I rhyme with the scheme. I disagree. I feel like Richard Pryor. This is fire to me,
Indeed.
right? So like when when I'm when I'm,
First of all, what? That's
I'm
crazy. Go ahead though. Go ahead. The rest of me just all right, that's
but
crazy.
see that they're noticing that I'm staying on the scheme. I'm still rhyming with the same shit, and I'm still getting my point across. Like, who you dying to see? And then it goes on for probably a G. And then it ends to the just because you're the landlord don't mean you got to sign for the lease. I'm rhyming with the same shit as I'm leading there, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
see the breath control. You know what I mean? They see how difficult it is to do some of that shit that I do.
Mm,
They see the different ways that I'm taking them. So it is dope. I think it's dope because your rapping is getting graded
right.
maybe more accurately,
Right.
or
Right.
if accurate isn't the word, maybe it's like they know how hard it is to do what you're doing, basically. You know what I
Right.
mean? So like I didn't have a problem with it. And again, it's one of those battles where shit, maybe if you switch the order, maybe if it
That's
was
what
on
I was saying.
stage, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Any small little tweak, it could have just went the other way, but it still would have been crazy in any circumstance. You know what I mean? So, and me and Fonz knew that. You know what I mean? We knew it. Like we kept saying to each other the day before, like, I know who you are. He's like, yeah, I know who you are. Yeah, yeah, I know what's about to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is about to be crazy. So
Now let me ask this: you out of the tournament, who is your favorite to win now? We're down to the final four window here. You know what I'm saying? My man, she happens or she what happens because that's cool. And then we got JC, Fonzie, of course. You know what I'm saying? Like who's your guys? Who do you
the the
think is gonna
the,
win it?
the winner of Fonz and Swamp,
Mm,
my
okay.
somebody from my class about to win this shit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I can dig it. I can dig it.
it's gonna
And
be
I
one.
got so I put up the link for everybody. You have the opportunity to speak to Real Sick. You know, a lot of you guys are fans, have, your different opinions. As always up here, we keep it real, but get off the McDonald's Wi-Fi, wash your face, turn your camera sideways, and have some respect. Because that's how we do it up here. You know what I mean? Um, but let's get down to some transactional activities. I do have to ask you your predictions. Chrome 23 is this weekend. I do got to get some predictions, Stick. I have to. I have to. I know you're friends with everybody. I know, but this is a consequential card. Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
Yeah,
And so
I will be in the building.
you in the building for it. You
I'm in
outside.
the building.
Okay.
So I can't wait. Shout out to Remy. She's taking this shit seriously, um, which I appreciate as a battle rap fan because there's a lot of people that dibble and dabble in this shit. You know what I mean? They come, they throw an event, and then they leave, and you know what I mean. She's really a fan of this shit, and
Mhm.
she's putting hard work into it, and I really appreciate that from somebody of her status doing that for battle rap. You know what I mean? So,
Definitely.
big shout out to Remy. Big shout out to
Definitely.
Remy.
Definitely. I have two events that day, so I may actually end up, but I'm trying to work
You
that out.
going? You going to the
I
Rome
battle. Yeah.
I battle or the Rome the compliment shit?
Oh nah, not the compliment joint. Although I do want to go to that. Would you ever do that? Would you do the compliment battles?
Yeah, I would. I would just have to figure out like who would I'd have to actually be a fan of who I'm battling.
Yeah, exactly. You had to.
I
That's
got
what
I
I
gotta
think.
have
Like,
nice shit to say about them.
yeah, you like, yo, I hate all these dudes. Like, who am I gonna pick that? You know what I mean?
uh yeah, so that's happening. I know Pat's on there. Pat versus Dunch. Shout out
Yeah,
to I Battle again. Dunch.
right,
He's battling Pat in a compliment battle. That
right,
battle's gonna be crazy.
right, right.
Arsenal's on the card. Bill Collector's on the card.
Mhm. That'd be
Like
great.
a lot of good people on that card as well. So I'm trying to navigate. You know what I mean? Going to Brooklyn and the Queens, or
Yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
I was supposed to say the location. My bad.
Well,
But
I'm
going from one event to the other. You know what I mean? Like
gonna be honest, man. Frack versus Geechee is one of my favorite battles of the entire year. I do think,
amazing.
like, see, I'm from the ignorant cloth, so ultimately, I like the competitive. Your mama this and that, and we punch you in your face, that type of stuff. But I think it's just so creative in how they were going about it. You know what I'm saying? As an MC, let's flip the script on y'all and say something positive. I just think that's ill. You know what I'm saying?
Anytime there's these concept battles, you know what I
Uh,
mean? Whether it's a compliment battle, whether it's the shit Disaster just did with Assassino, or like,
yeah, Assassino, yes,
yeah,
sir.
like whenever there's these concept battles, I think it's super dope because it does put you in like a different mode. Like people that are writers, they need certain things to spark their creativities.
Right.
Creativity is like a faucet. Sometimes it just drips, and then sometimes it's fully flowing. You know what I mean? So you don't really control that unless the it's kind of like you need that. What's the word I'm looking for? You need that, like, there's a word here,
Mm.
stimulus. You need that stimulus to
Hmm.
kind of get spark that creativity. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Right.
I think all these battles are dope. But yeah, I would definitely do one. I would just have to, you know, have nice shit to say about somebody.
Yeah, that's half the battle, right?
Yeah,
For
literally.
for the ladies and gentlemen card this weekend, right? What we got going on, right? So You got a bunch of names on there. I'm gonna just skip right to the main event. I'm gonna skip right to it. The main event is Miss Hustle versus Vixen, and these are two of my favorites. Definitely two in the top five for me personally out of the women's outside right now.
Hmm.
How are you calling that battle, bro? How are you calling that for real? 3 rounds.
So I've seen Vixen live, and the first time I saw Hustle live was at the last Chrome event, Chrome 23. And Hustle is a vet. You know what I mean?
Over that. Yep.
That's the vibe I got watching her perform. She's super comfortable. She's been there a bunch of times, and she acts like she's been there a bunch of times. You know, like
Right.
she's she controls that environment. And Vixen is like, how do I say it? Like she's a puncher, but she's just like a freight train. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the difference in this battle is gonna be experience. And I think
Yes.
that experience that Hustle shows is what's gonna get her the battle. Um, but it's gonna be a crazy battle. I think. Like Vixen is nonstop. You know what I mean? And Hustle is I think Hustle will know how to deviate the freight train. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's still gonna be something she got to deal with. So I
it'll
think
it'll
that
be it'll be great watching her battle somebody that can bark back with her. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
And
Yep.
I think that's like the sub game that we all looking forward to and stuff like that.
Oh,
Um, you got Gaddis versus Rum. And again, Rum being the alien that he is, you know what I'm saying? We just seen him up against Swamp. And look, I see what people are trying to do with the Swamp battle. Rum Nitty has some work. We not doing that. Swamp won that battle. We not doing the well Nitty wasn't on his A game and try to like minimize the win. No, we're not doing that. So I
yeah,
think Rum
I
won.
don't like when people do that, man. Like,
Yeah, talk
yeah, like
about
Nitty is a professional too. He got off stage and said he got the battle. You know what I mean?
it.
Like,
That's a fact.
yeah, like he even like I got the chance to talk to Nitty a little over the weekend. He's super professional about this shit, bro. Like
Yeah,
he doesn't think of it one way or the other. Like it is what it is to him. You know what I mean?
right.
So like if he lost, he lost. It's not changing anything in his career. It's only he's not in the tournament anymore. You know what I mean? So
Exactly. And
um
it's dope how him and Gotti. I do think, when you have like the way that the leaders carry themselves, it has an effect on the culture because
100%.
they were so gracious in defeat and so like laudatory to the person that won because of what they did. It's just that's the energy we need. You know what I'm saying? That's how King's supposed to move. Like we just
100%.
split 150. Like we good. You know what I'm saying?
Because if the people at the top are doing that and you're not there and you're acting like in a different way, it makes you look.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like why are you flipping out over it? Like Geechee and Nitty won the last tournament. They're not in the tournament anymore. They're not doing that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like they lead by example for real. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's
Right.
it's dope to have people like that or Tay Rock. Tay Rock is very humble as well. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? In real life when it comes to this shit. So it's good to have people like that at the top. That's something that should definitely be pointed out.
Now, I don't like it. The hit list question is almost like it's a little bit trite to ask you the hit list because you already battled so many of these people, right? But I always think like, okay, because I see the chats talking about JC, Hollow, people like that, like these different types of people. But what battles do you think you could take that would actually be a challenge? Like, what's the next challenge for you? Is it some industry battle? Is it doing a battle on a different scenery? Is it the rooftop? Like that type of stuff is what I'm more interested in. You know what I'm saying? Like what's gonna be the next challenge for you? Like, what's the next thing? You
First
know?
of all, no, I'd never battle B Dot, so I'm not talking about B Dot. But nobody could see me on that rooftop, bro. Nobody wants that rooftop smoke.
Wait, what?
Nobody will beat me on a rooftop at all. I'm not battling B Dot, so
Not battling
Yeah,
Dot. Yeah, Dot is the homie, so he
that,
battled
that
with the
that's
greatest.
that's my boy. I'm not talking. Nobody seeing me on that rooftop, bro. Nobody is seeing me on that rooftop.
Hmm.
No crowd. We're just rapping up there.
Woo-hoo!
Nobody's fucking with me there.
Oh
Uh,
man.
Hit list. As far as that goes, we didn't even finish the predictions.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
we did. We did. My bad.
I'll get back to that.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to battle my favorites, not my Mount Rushmore. My favorites. I think that's a different list. You know what I mean? Because sidetrack. Whenever people talk about like their top lists, I think people talk about their favorites, their favorite list versus accolades. You know what I mean? Like for example,
Oh,
um, top five of all time, I'd have to put Jay-Z up there, right? But
right.
Jay-Z's not one of the guys that influenced the way that I rap. In my personal, it would be people like Crooked Eye, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Or
Okay.
or or Lloyd Banks or Big Pun and Big L, you know what I mean? But
Right.
maybe if they don't have the accolades, I can't put them with Jay. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
sidetrack. So Mount Rushmore, you got to put the guys with the accolades up there. And these guys, some of my favorites have the accolades as well. But my favorite lists have always been um, Disaster, Shine, Pat Stay, Magic, um, Nitty's in there. I'm forgetting some people. Arsenal was in there, and
Yeah.
I've already kind of battled some of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the ones that I haven't battled, Nitty, Shine, Disaster, those would be the battles that I would definitely um, want to happen. I think me and Shine would be crazy.
You and Sean would be crazy.
I think
No doubt about it.
me and Nitty would be crazy, and I think if me and Disaster ever lock in, that would be crazy as well. Um, Shout out to him. He was showing love. Um, Somebody posted a clip and he said some shit for that. So shout out to him.
That's what's up.
Um,
That's what's up.
but yeah, those are the guys that I'm thinking about right now. Other than
Yeah.
that, man, I'll battle. So those are like after I battle everybody in that list, I don't know what I'll be motivated to do.
We killing industry cats. Well, you know how
We
that
could do
go.
that too. We could do
Yeah.
that too. But
Yeah.
yeah,
We
like I've
trying.
already battled, Pat, Arsenal, and Magic, who are some of my favorites. Um,
Yeah.
so then yeah, those guys, and then shit, who, shit, whoever
Hey,
else.
yo, hold up though. Hold up. You still remember you went overseas and got crazy. You might have to go back overseas. You know,
Shout out to Premier. Yeah,
shout out
I'm
the
in
premiere.
talks. I'm in talks with them too, because I
Okay.
want to go over there and battle. I know publicly we've talked about me versus Unanimous,
Mm,
me versus
mm.
Soul.
You
Um,
were so that's the one.
that
Honestly, backpack, Jansport backpack era. Yo, shout that you know who I'm talking to. Y'all know good and goddamn well. Real sick and soul is the one. That's the one.
that
Yeah,
that would definitely be crazy.
right.
I'm a big fan of the scene over there. Even some of the new guys. Shout out to Premier. I
Yeah.
just got to judge Tully versus Shotty Horror.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Uh-huh.
so yeah, I'm a big fan of the shit going on over there. So
Right.
I was talking to them about a possibility of that. Um, I missed the UK crowd. I want to go back, and they saw me right before I got on URL.
I
They saw
know.
me right before it happened.
I know.
I did all of this, and now when I go back, I know it's gonna be
You
crazy. So
the welcome is gonna be different. You know, the welcome hit different internationally. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they got it's a heavy population, just like out shit. We live in Jersey, so you
yeah.
know how it is out here. It's the same shit out in the UK. So that
The
would be
UK fans, man, they remind me of iBattle fans, and
a
you've been at iBattle events, so you
yeah,
know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
It's a fun environment. You know what
right,
I mean? It's not so much pressure. Like URL is the biggest league in the world. That's why there's so much pressure when you're there.
yeah,
Even if you're having fun, it's still pressure because everybody is watching. You know what I mean? But
at
like,
all times, at
yeah,
all times,
all
everything you
times.
do.
Every,
If you drop a drink at the bar, if you forget to change, if you leave the bathroom and you
bro,
step on some toilet paper and it's on your foot, like everything you do
the
is
smallest
under a
thing,
microscope.
everything. iBattle events, UK events, they're just chill, bro. They're
Yeah,
chill, and it's like in my experience when I was in the UK, everybody was like just excited to see battle rap. They're not desensitized to battle rap over there. I
Mhm.
think in the States we are. There's an event every weekend. There's a battle league in every state. There's like a, you know what I mean? Like we see battles all the time over here. Over there, they're kind of spread out a bit. So every time there's a battle event, they're more like it's an event. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like events over here, I guarantee you, there's gonna be people at the Remy event in fucking sweats and, you know what I mean? Like
Oh
it's
yeah, oh 100, 100. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Because we're just used to events out here. But
Mhm.
like over there, people dress up. You know what I mean? People get ready. People are like,
Right, right.
yeah. So, and when I say that, I don't mean like they wear their best shit. I just mean like
Yeah,
they approach it like an event. You know what I
right,
mean? So,
right.
shout out to all of them. I do have to go back there. Um, but
Absolutely.
there's definitely more people that I want to battle. I know me and Easy are gonna cross paths maybe
You
next.
and Easy is listen, at this point, the collision course, and we said this, we've been following both of you brothers' career. It's
Mhm.
it's just it's headed this way. Every time one of you has a great like matchup or whatever, it's like the doomsday clock inches forward. Like until we get real sick, easy, top of the card, gnome, summer madness. That's a main event, sick.
I was telling him I was winning till he got on the Super Bowl. I was like, what when how could any of us see that shit coming? Like, are you serious? We were
Yeah.
like right here. I was getting more battles than you. We, you know what I mean? My resume was looking crazy,
Right.
and you said
Right.
Super Bowl. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my dog. All right,
Hey,
fine.
hey, you know he got that. The Fresh Prince, how the Fresh Prince. You gotta be one of these extras in one of these Guy Ritchie movies or something like. You know what I mean? Big Goon or something like. Yeah, that's real
I
sick. The
I
extra next.
I
Yeah.
actually, side note, I have a lot of crazy music opportunities
Oh,
coming up.
oh,
Um, if you look at my Instagram, I just met this guy. Battle rap might not know him, but if you click on his page and you see what his following is like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
You'll know who I'm talking about. So like there's a lot of music opportunities and legendary shit that I view more than the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like shout out to Easy, man. Shout out to Easy. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got a lot of stuff outside battle rap also brewing. You know what I mean? Like it's coming up, and I want people to look out for it. So
We gonna be in full support of that now. I was tacky earlier, so let me spin the block and let's do this very quickly. Gaddis Nitty, what's your prediction on that? How you calling it?
I think Gaddis actually would have won if Nitty had the third round of the tournament coming up. But I think now that he got a clear mind, I know Nitty. Like I don't even know if I should share this story, but I know he could prepare like this and be flawless. You know what I
He's
mean?
there.
He's an alien for real.
Right.
So you know what I mean? He probably has the illest young gat flips in the world. You know what I mean? like
Oh God.
like I think Nitty's gonna get that just because like I mean how many people are you anytime you do a prediction with Nitty in it, how many times are you not picking Nitty? Like
I
it's
mean,
just something to say. Like Gaddis is an incredible rapper though, and I think she's gonna make it a fight.
I
I
think
think
she's going
it's,
to do much better than her previous battles as well. It's difficult for me to pick her over Nitty, but I think she's going to do much better than what she had been doing before. So,
Gaddis is crazy.
yeah,
She
I'm
can
a
rap
big fan
her
of
ass
guys, man.
off. So
Yeah,
shout out to her.
yeah.
Ab
Uh,
official dog.
Ab official, what's up? What's
I
up? What's up? Don't do
I
that.
don't know, man. That's
Don't
crazy.
do that, sick.
I
No.
I think I think official is gonna. I think officials do to to remind people what the fuck she does, and I think she will against Av. Um, but Av is one of the best punchers of all time. You know what I mean? And I think Av's gonna get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. And Prestavia versus J2. I like J2, but man, oh man, oh man. You got you got some work.
She had time too. Like
Yeah,
she had 2 months. I think they said they had 2 months. Uh, Prestavia is fire. She is gonna run this shit one day. She's amazing. Her pen is fire.
yeah.
Yeah, I nothing but gratitude for Prestavia,
Right.
especially as a rapper. You know what I mean? She raps. So, side note, her and Gaddis one day would be crazy,
Oh God, what?
crazy.
That's one of
But,
those. Yeah. But yeah,
but
she definitely had like a Ryan Howard, like Ryan. Yeah, I know WNBA shit too. Yeah, Prestavia. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You definitely
yeah,
had a Ryan Howard type freshman year going crazy. Like you
she's
bugging.
going crazy. She's going crazy.
She's dope, and the way that she's doing it is refreshing, and it reminds a lot of us on the women's side as how we felt when you came in. She's
Mm.
rapping, bro. I hear her. I hear Rod Digger. I hear Rhapsody. I hear Chano. I hear that's the shit that I grew up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the essence right there. She from that cloth, so should be dope. Intergender battle. Who would you any prospective opponents or who do you respect enough to maybe make that?
I respect all battle rappers.
Wait a minute. You
So
told me that story about you one time you made this girl cry. I'm sorry. I don't know if anything.
yeah, that was like mad long ago. Yeah, I said it on this, right? On Black.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, the first and only time I battled a girl. Yeah, I made her cry because I'm a battle rap fan, so I'm battling. You know what I mean? And she's like she's just rapping her little rhyme, and I'm like, you stupid bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
your coochie lips smell like tuna fish. I put a you know what I mean? Like I was going off, but
Somebody got
I
it on
wouldn't
tape.
I wouldn't take that approach now. You know what I mean? That
Okay.
was me when I was like 18. But like now I'm a writer, so I would take a crazy approach if I ever battled a female.
Right.
And it could honestly be any one of them. If I had to choose, I like the rappers. So, my verse would be crazy in a battle. I think Vixen said she wanted to battle me. I think that would be crazy.
That would be fire.
Um so people and I told Prestavia one day me and her are probably gonna battle too.
Yeah.
Because the flow, she got them pockets too. You know what I mean? So
Right. There'd be a lot of that in there. I'm just being there. You know, how you watch somebody that can rap, your head's supposed to be moving. I'm sorry. It's supposed to be.
yo, I noticed that every time I like look at Smack every time I'm rapping. Like I
Yeah.
noticed that or not even Smack, just the other people on stage.
Mhm.
That's what their head is doing. They're
The
doing
head's
that shit.
doing this
Biggity,
because you
biggity,
can't help
biggity.
it. When somebody really like you, like, oh, nah, he really, you know what I'm saying? See, they ain't used to that now because none of these little niggas can rap. But back in my day, when somebody MC's rapping, you kind of doing one of these, like, yo,
Yeah.
where's he going with? You feel me? Like, but
Yeah, now like the stink faces are different. Like
mm,
what most battle rappers, the stink face comes at the line.
mhm,
I the, when I'm rapping, you see the stink face before I
mm,
get to the punch.
right. Oh, wait a minute. I think we might have lost Sick. Hold on. Hold on. Ah, wait a minute. I think we might have lost Sick, man. Shout out to Real Sick, man. I know we had a few minutes left. We was fighting up against the phone battery and all that, man. So, but shout out to Real Sick, man. I wanted to get a proper outro and things like that, man. But I'm gonna have all the information for you guys to follow Real Sick. You know what I'm saying? Follow what he has going on, man. That's definitely one of the most talented, introspective brothers in this game. I hope he dropped a lot of gems on y'all just now too. Like as far as the game, as far as what he thinks about, some MC stuff. Real Sick, man. Shout out to you, Sick. I know phones is how they is, bro. You know what I mean? He said my phone died. Yeah, Real Sick, man. Salute to you big time, bro. You already know what time it is. Real rap. Sick is dope. You know what I mean? And him and Fonz just had a barn burner. So make sure you follow Real Sick. All his information will be in the description box. This weekend is the Remy card, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure y'all get out there and support. I battle is this weekend as well. It's a lot going on, man. Shout out to my man Death going up against Kid Slade. So shout out to everybody, man, that's doing their thing, man. Follow all the guys. Shout out to Cola and Polo and Pose and the entire society, man. You see what we doing up here, Black Compass Media. We cover everything. We got the legends up here. We got the up and comers up here. We got the ladies up here. We got the league owners up here. Yeah. Oh, and speaking of leagues, the walk down. Y'all might have seen a couple of battles and things like that up there. I am involved. I am one of the members of that group. The walk down battles on beat. It's the aesthetic is great. It's out there right now. Wise versus T Rex, and we will have a man Canoa, who's the cinematographer behind that. But that's a vision that myself and something that he's a part of. He's the man. But I've been able to put some of my talents to that as well. So look out for that, man. It's gonna be a lot more going on. You know what I mean? Hustle Crow, I'm gonna get you in next time. We're gonna talk next time. But any questions, anything, man, anything y'all gotta ask me, make sure y'all follow me as well. Follow Black Compass, that's Black Compass BCM on Twitter. And y'all stay the course, man, and go watch the NBA. Go hug your kids. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Trouble. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Trouble, man. And shout out to the entirety of Atlanta, man. Love y'all. You know what I mean? Black Compass Media, we up out of here, y'all. Peace.